Hi guys, thank you so much for having me here. This is an absolutely brilliant event, so a big round of applause for the organizers to begin with. So well, first up, I do realize that this is a tech event, and most people here are here to talk about technology. Well, I'm not going to talk about technology. I'm going to talk about something that I think we're all constantly searching for. It's that little thing called happiness. And how happiness is linked to not how much you receive or accumulate, but how much you can give away. The concept of giving is something that has been in our religions and in our mythologies for centuries now. I mean, if you look at Hinduism, there's the concept of dana. If you look at Islam, there is the concept of zakat. In Christianity, there's charity, and so on and so forth. And the concept of dana is a really, really interesting concept. Dana simply means cultivating generosity within yourself. Generosity can be directed towards an individual or generosity towards society as a whole. And giving really is an age-old concept, but it's something that has got a lot of attention of late with the Giving Pledge. All these billionaires coming together across the world, pledging away half their wealth, mostly during their lifetime, and I think that's absolutely amazing. In fact, I was reading Bill Gates' interview, and he said that of all the things that I've done in my life, the thing that has been most satisfying is the giving away of my wealth. And I found that incredible. I thought that was really, really special. So we may not have billions of dollars to give away, like Bill Gates, but I think we've all experienced the joy of giving at some point or the other in our lives. And now there's proof to suggest that giving is actually very, very good for you. So I recently came across a survey that was conducted. It started off in America, and it found that Americans that gave away 6 hours of volunteering time every month were amongst the happiest Americans. And people that were unhappy, most of them were people that were not volunteering at all. Similarly, people that gave away 10% of their wealth to charity were amongst the happy people. And consequently, people that were not giving any money to charity were amongst the unhappy ones. So I found that really, really fascinating. And not only that, it also found that people, not only did giving away make you happier, it also made you healthier. So people that gave money to charity performed much better on 9 counts of emotional wellness. They said that they experienced a lot less stress, and they felt that they had a greater purpose in life. And this is all from just giving. It makes you healthier and happier. Now, in case you're thinking that this is something that happens only in first world countries, well, this was a survey that was conducted across the world, 130 countries, from America to Uganda, and everywhere the research was exactly the same. People that gave were happier, and people that gave were healthier, irrespective of whether they were from a rich nation or a poor nation, irrespective of their caste, religion, or whether they came from what social background. Just giving made people happier and healthier. So I decided that this was something that was very, very interesting, and I wanted to find out, what is it about giving that makes us happy physically. So I came across some research papers, which I'd like to share with you. And there was this scientist that conducted some research, and he found, after doing an MRI, that giving activates the same part of the brain that is activated during sex and chocolate. Now I can't think of anybody that is unhappy eating chocolate. So giving actually activates the same part of the brain, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. So I had a chance to catch up with a friend of mine, and he was the embodiment of what it means to be giving. So this was a guy that I had not seen in about 3 years now. The last time I saw him, he was a really successful investment banker. And he was the sort of guy that was good at everything. I mean, he's the sort of guy that you don't like in school and college because he tops everything without even trying. So we caught up after 3 years, and we got chatting, and I was like, so how's it going? How's the job going? And he said, well, I've given up the job. So knowing him, I assumed that he was probably the head of some corporation by now. So I said, okay, so what are you doing? So he said, I'm a clown. So this was my exact reaction. I took a really long pause, and I smiled, and I said, what does that mean? So he said, no, seriously, I'm a clown. I work with a troupe now. And when I have time off, I go to hospitals, I go to orphanages, and I go to old age homes. I entertain people, I give them gifts, and have conversations with them. So, I was really surprised because this is a friend of mine who's this brilliant achiever, and all his life he's really achieved and topped things, and suddenly He's gone from being an investment banker to being a clown in a troupe. So my first reaction obviously was why? And he said simply, because giving makes me happy. And I've never felt happier in my life. Here was a guy that was a overachieving investment banker, now turned clown, and he was saying that I've never been happier in my life. And I thought that was just incredible. It got me thinking about all the times that I've given, and I felt really happy. And I think that my most sort of profound experience with giving happened when it was about 9 years back. I was shooting for a film called Rang De Basanti. And while shooting for the film, I came across this little boy. And he was in the studio, Film studio. And for some reason, I was fascinated by this boy, so I called him and I started chatting with him. He was about 11 years old. And he told me that he had run away from his village. I mean, he had a really sad story attached to him. He said that he had run away from his village because his father had actually killed his mother. And now his grandparents didn't want to keep him there because they felt he had the same blood in him. So he had heard that his uncle lives in Bombay in a place called Ulhasnagar. And being from a small village, he thought Ulhasnagar is like this little area that he can come to and find his uncle. So he collected money over like about 6-7 months. He caught a train and came to Bombay. And as often happens in Bombay, people want to take you for a ride. So he asked somebody, can you tell me where Ulhasnagar is? So they said, yeah, sure, we'll take you to Ulhasnagar. So they brought him to Filmistan studio. And they said, go in, this is Ulhasnagar. So he was staying in Filmistan studio for the last like 8-9 months, doing odd jobs, helping people with the lighting, working in the canteen, and people used to give him food in return. So I felt like I wanted to help this boy. So I said, look, I'm going to help you. I'm going to get you educated. I'm going to put you in a hostel, and I'm going to take care of you. I got him educated. I put him in a hostel, and I started taking care of him. And this was 9 years back. Now this boy is somebody that has got an education. He speaks English. He's got a job, and he makes money not enough only for himself, but also for his grandparents that had thrown him out of the house. And I'm not telling you this story to tell you what a wonderful human being I am. I'm just telling you this story that this simple act of helping somebody was something that was really special to me. From all the things that make me happy, I think this is one of the things that makes me most happy, because I had a chance to contribute to somebody else's life. And talking about contribution and giving brings me to Ketto, which is the main reason that I was invited here in the first place. I'm not here because I'm an actor, I'm here because I'm the co-founder of a crowdfunding platform called Ketto. For those of you that don't know what crowdfunding simply is about collecting small amounts of money from large amounts of people, usually for individual, social and creative projects via the internet. So for instance, you need 1 lakh rupees. Typically what would happen is you'd reach out to one person and say, look, I need 1 lakh rupees. Or you reach out to 2 people and say, I want 50,000 rupees each. In crowdfunding, what happens is that you reach out to 1,000 people and you say, I need 100 rupees each. That's how crowdfunding works. Now, crowdfunding is a new industry, but it's something that's been around forever. The earliest example of crowdfunding was the Statue of Liberty. So what happened is that the French sent the statue, but they forgot to send the base. So the Americans found themselves in a bit of a quandary because they had this amazing statue, but they didn't know what to put it on. So one of the papers reached out to people and they said that, look, we need to collect enough money for the base, and any sort of donation is welcome. So people start giving 10 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents, $1, $2, and very soon they had raised $100,000. And the reason that they found that people wanted to contribute and they raised so much money so quickly was that people felt that they were part of something that was greater than themselves. That's what happened with the Statue of Liberty. And I find that every day on the platform. Every day is a surprise for me on the platform because in the last couple of years, we've raised crores of rupees for the disasters that have happened in Chennai, Nepal, and Kashmir. We've raised money for people's operations and surgeries. We've raised money to educate children. We've raised money to help people make movies. We've also raised money to help people go on holidays. And I'm constantly surprised. I'm constantly surprised by how many people want to give and how many people want to give strangers. In the last couple of years, it took us 2 years to raise our first crore on the platform. 6 months back, it took us a month to raise a crore. This week, we've raised a crore. And going forward in the future, we expect to raise a crore every day. The industry itself has expanded from $5 billion to about $35 billion in just 3.5 years. And it is going to blow through the roof now. It's going to go through the roof completely. The reason for that I have assessed, is it gives people the opportunity to give. It gives people the opportunity to be something, to be part of something that is greater than themselves. It gives people the opportunity to contribute to somebody else's life, and which is why it's growing really fast. The other thing that I found which is really, really interesting is that most people that receive on the platform are more likely to give people fundraisers as well. So it creates a pay-it-forward sort of syndrome. So if you receive, you will give. And generosity begets generosity, which I think is something that we all need to learn and apply in this world that we live in today. You know, we live in a world where we're constantly taught that the key to success, the key to happiness is success. You know, we hear this in our schools, we hear this in our colleges, we hear this in our houses. You know, beta, you know, when you will be successful, you will be happy. We're constantly hearing this. And I think what is surprising about this is we still live in a world where depression is one of the biggest diseases. So I think it's about time we change that a little bit. And we said that the key to success, the key to happiness is not success, but the key to happiness is one step further, which is fulfillment. And fulfillment comes from giving, fulfillment comes from sharing, and fulfillment comes from contributing. I saw a documentary recently which was incredibly interesting, which was linked to the same thing, which was they interviewed a lot of people that were on their deathbeds. And one of the questions that everybody was asked was that, you know, if you had to go back in your life and you had to live it again, what was the one thing that you would change? So nobody said that, you know, I wish I had a bigger house, or I wish I had a bigger car, or I wish I had spent more time in the office. But all of them, almost all of them said that I wish I had spent more time giving. More time giving time to the people that I love, more of myself emotionally, and most importantly, more time contributing to the world that I lived in. I'd like to conclude this by saying that, you know, it's the 18th of December. What's the date today? 17th of December. So we are 1 week away from the Christmas week, which is the week of giving. And in the week of giving, I think it's very, very important to think about how we can help somebody else, how we can contribute to somebody else's life, and how we can give. I'm not saying it's as great as, you know, having sex or eating chocolate, but it is definitely something that will make you very, very happy. Thank you.